Hey everyone, it's Jessica Bangor of Creative Soul Art, and I'm on later than I wanted to be, but I had a prior virtual meeting that I needed to do, and it was very important to me that I had to take care of before I got on with you guys. So I'm a little behind, but I'm glad that I'm on. It has been a long while since I have done a live, so I'm glad to be live right now. I'm super excited to go ahead and do this painting. So I'm going to be doing... I'm glad to be live right now. So sorry about the echo. Trying to make sure that I can see you guys' comments when you come in, just in case you're watching. And also make sure everything's in frame, because I'm concerned about everything being in frame. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start painting. Hope you guys come in. Oh, I got it out of frame again. All right. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. After having a long weekend. I know most people have had time off this past weekend, so I'm sure that you were dreading a little bit the weekend, dreading having to come back to work after a long weekend, but especially enjoying it. Anyways, I'm going to start painting. So this painting is really easy and simple. So if you are tuning in and you are watching right now, I'm going to bring my camera up just a little bit higher. And if you happen to come in and you want to do a hashtag replay, for whatever reason, I just cannot get it in frame. Okay. No. No, I need to move in this direction. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start painting. So I got my regular big brush, my medium brush, my liner brush. I may use this Filbert, may or may not, I'm not sure. But for the most part, I am going to go ahead and start painting because I really like this painting. This idea that I have, I've painted it multiple times, and I also teach it in my virtual classes. As you know, once again, I'm Jessica Bangor of Creative Soul Art. And I teach paint parties to groups of 100 or more virtually, mostly virtually lately. But right now, what I'm doing with this paint is usually what I do is I paint the outside corners, because we're going to make like a circular shape going on in the center. So I'm just going to paint the corners and the sides here. And I'm not going to use too much paint because my kids don't always come with a whole bunch of stuff in, a whole bunch of paint. About maybe an ounce of paint in it. You don't need a lot of paint. And then the canvas is a pretty nice size canvas. This is 11 by 14 that I'm using today, but you can use a bigger one if you're painting along with me, or you come back and if you see the red light, you'll know that I am live. So I am live right now. So you're just coming in and checking it out. Definitely make sure that you check in. I know my time changed, but if you came and tuned in, it was like, oh, she said she's going to be on at 8:30. Yeah, things kind of changed a bit. Not on purpose, but I forgot I had a prior engagement, and I didn't want to leave that because that was something I made plans for earlier, so I could not change the time. But I'm still here. So what I've done is I've just painted the corners, and see how easy it was to be able to paint all your corners. And now you have like a circular oval type shape. And all you have to do now is just blend with water on your brush and just blend those colors in, just in case you see a little bit of white. You can start to blend in. And then what I'm going to do is pick up a little bit of white paint. And then I'm going to take it and blend towards the middle on the edges of that circle, so I can kind of round it out and make it a circular one. So I'm using my big brush still with a little bit of white paint on my brush. And I'm just rounding it out to make a circle. Okay. And I'm going to be back on again soon. I've just been really busy with my children, with other endeavors. So I haven't been able to get on and do some lives. And I haven't been able to make the time because I've been trying to do multiple things and focus on other things. But my art is still important to me. And of course, having to do virtual classes, it kind of takes up your time trying to coordinate and trying to pack kids. So I've been pretty busy and trying to work on my social media stuff too. And I have actually added a TikTok account. So I'm on TikTok right now. I have a few videos posted. So if you are on TikTok and you are on that platform, if you look me up on Creative Soul Art 22, that is my handle on there, and I'm on there just posting my art, posting me painting, and doing my pieces while I paint. So this is one of the many pieces that I've done, designs that I've came up with or have done. I also do some freelance teaching on this also. So all I've done is just rounded out my circle. And as I go in, I'm picking up white to lighten it as I go in. And that's going to make it where it stands out, because in the end, this is going to be a moon in the middle. I'm going to give it some time to dry. And I want to make sure it's nice and round like a moon. That's all I'm doing with my brush, is going in a circular motion. And so now I have this really nice blended piece coming in to make a nice cool ombre. And that's how I started. I started with the edges, with just going to my edges of my canvas with blue. And now I'm making a circle-like shape to make a moon. So now I have a really cool moon in the center. I'm gonna give that a moment to dry. I did not bring my blow dryer. I apologize in advance. But it shouldn't take too long to dry. In the meantime, I'm gonna do something else while I paint. So while the background is drying, what I can do is show you a step where you can go ahead and add white in the middle, and only white. And yeah, you may pick up a little bit of blue, but now you can clean your edges up. And this paint dries really fast, so it shouldn't take too long to dry. But I'm gonna go ahead and add white in the center. That way the white can dry along with the blue before I start back painting. So now I have my blue, and now I've created a blending where I'm blending my edges with my brush to make sure that the color is still white and it has a little bit of blue. So now it has a beautiful blend to it. Now we got this really cool moon that we are adding. And it's okay to have a few specks of blue on your brush. I'm going to pick up a little bit of blue and white and just kind of add it like that. And so now the moon has this nice little richness of light blue. Not too much. And it still has it's a really light blue color, but it's still white. So we have that. What I'm also going to do while this is drying is I can still go to my edges and mix a little bit of blue and black on my brush. So I just add a little blue and black on my brush. And now I'm going to add some black to kind of darken the edge a little bit more, to really make it a real cool ombre look. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm going to mix that blue and that black together, get a nice ombre, get all that color together on the edge. Like I said, now that's all the technique is, just going on the edge with your brush and making a curve, like stroking your brush with blue, and go from there. So you got that. All right. So now I got that dark edge, and it gives it a different feel too. Gives it a different feel to the painting. So now the inner part is dry, and I can go ahead and start adding some outside stuff. So now what I'm going to do is, because we're painting a tree, I'm going to be making the tree the focal point. We're done with our background. It's mostly dry. Now I'm going to be taking the medium brush. I have a Filbert, and you can get this one, or you can use the flat brush. Either one works really well. Okay, either one works really well. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. You can use either one of these size brushes, whichever works. All right. So don't worry about that part. So I'm just going to give it a few more minutes to dry. So now that I have let that dry a bit, so this, because I'm using the Deco Art paint, it dries really well. So now that I've done that, what I'm going to do is make a black, like a heel for my tree to sit on, okay? And so I'm going to go from the corners here, the bottom, and make a shape going up like that. And it doesn't have to be, if you want to do just a wavy line, that works fine too, okay? It works fine. All right, and all you're gonna do is go that up. And now you got this really cool heel. And all you have to do now is just fill it in with your brush. You can use your big brush or your medium brush and just fill it in, okay? So we just used black, the color black. Now we're gonna fill it in and add all that black in for your heel. Hold on to your black because you're gonna need it later if you're painting along with me, or if you come back and hashtag replay, you'll be able to remember that you're going to need to add black for your tree trunk. So now we're just painting the heel, get our heel all in there. And then finally we have a base for where our tree can start, okay? So after that, this is a pretty easy, simple painting, very fall-esque style. I am also going to get on and show you guys next time that I'm live. I can't be specific on the date. I wish I could. And I really got to get my schedule together, but I've been working on some other things, so it's requiring me to take a seat back from doing the lives, but still posting, but just not doing lives. So I have quite a few projects that I would like to incorporate for fall. I got a lot of inspiration today. I went to Family Dollar, saw some stuff that I could use, some things that I could make, got a few supplies. If I can't get on live, I can actually record it and post and show you a few projects, which I probably will be posting some of these projects via Instagram and TikTok, just to show people how they can make some really cool fall decor. I have a couple of fall decor ideas that I'm going to be doing. So now we got our heel here. Okay. And I'm using basic colors, red, yellow, blue, black, and white. So I'm not using any fancy colors with fancy names. Okay. Nothing of that nature. So if you are wondering if this is going to be a complicated painting, if you already have acrylics in your home, you probably have everything you need to paint this. So like I said, if you're coming later to watch it, you'll be able to get all of the steps needed to paint this. So now we got our cool fall tree. We have our moon. The root of our tree is going to go. Now I'm going to get my liner brush and I'm going to start to draw out the shape of my tree. So I'm going to draw the trunk of it like that. And I'm just using lines. Just like that. So basically, when I think about painting a tree and it's very abstract, I think of the letter Y. So I'm going to make a 1 letter Y here. And then I'm going to make even smaller ones to represent the remaining branches. And try to put as much paint on your brush as you can, the liner brush, because it's very thin. So it makes very thin paint lines. And so when you're using your brush, instead of feeling like you're writing, you want to pull your brush in the direction that you want your paint to go. So whether you're going up or down, you want to pull your brush. So it's not like writing in a sense of your grip can be like you're writing, but I suggest that you pull, when you're going up, you pull your brush in specific directions for how you want your painting branches to go. So I'm getting quite a few systems of these letter Y's onto my painting. Okay. So late night, it's a Wednesday, it's right after the holiday, so I know people are still trying to recuperate from their weekend. Okay, so there we go. So now we got our tree branches in, and they're just black. There's no mixture of color. They're just black, and all we're gonna do is fill in the bottom layer of the trunk, just like that. And then I'm gonna take my attention off of the tree for now because I got quite a bit of branches already there. And so now, and I'll be getting on next time to do a fall scene. Because I know we do a lot of times the season paint parties, you do a lot of pumpkins, and I will be getting on to do a really cool pumpkin painting that's really simple. But sometimes you just want to do the scenes, the fall scenes, and nothing involving a pumpkin. Because, I mean, fall is more than just pumpkins. All right, so now I have my tree. I'm going to thicken my lines just a little bit more with my brush. So I'm just going to go back over them and thicken them so they're not as thin looking. And like I said, I'm just taking my brush, like I was saying before, taking my brush and just pulling it in the direction of, in the direction that I want it to go. And as you can see, like I was saying before, they're just a series of big and small letter Y's or letter V's to create my tree. So now my tree has all its branches, and then I'll be able to add the nice fullness of my tree. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of white on the end of my Filbert brush. Okay, a little bit of white, not too much, just a little. End of my Filbert brush, and add some pieces of white to give this rock or hill some shape. I'm just adding it on the sides, on the corners and sides like that. And I'm gonna add a little bit of that on the edges as well. I'll also take white and do that. And add it on my trees, just to give it a little dimension to the shape of my painting. Now that I've added that, that's good and cool. Now we can go for the main event, and that is our leaves. So I'm gonna add my leaves to it. And all it is a dabbing technique that I'm gonna be using a combination of yellow and orange. Excuse me, yellow and red. So I'm just taking bright yellow and going over the tops of with my medium brush and doing a dabbing technique. And you can do this with your medium or your large brush. And what you're gonna do while it's still wet is you can go right over that with red. This is an easy, simple painting you could do with a child, or do it as a simple party. So this is a simple, basic piece. So I'm gonna take this and do all that in yellow and add some cool yellow colors to it. Going from there with that. Go from there. So I'm adding a few yellow spots here and there to on the edge of my brush, using the corner of my brush to make leaves that are flying away, going in this direction like that. There we go. I mean, it's fall season is beginning. The weather is getting ready to change. And it's appropriate time for this kind of thing. So I've added all my yellow in there. Now I'm gonna go back with my red on top while it's still wet. That way there's no mixing involved. We're basically just picking up paint on the brush and adding it on top of the wet part to where we don't spend a lot of time doing a lot of mixing. So now I've added some yellow, and now I'm gonna clean my brush and add some red. There we go. Now I'm adding a little bit of red on the brush, and we're making orange, or what resembles orange once we mix it in there. Now you got red mixed in with that orange. Now you can kind of expand the orange a little, the red and the yellow together to expand it to add this really cool technique. And I like to dab it. And I know that the yellow, so I'm going to add in red, a little bit more red on top. Got the yellow. Now I'm going to take my edge of my brush and add some leaves. Now I've got orange already on my brush because I've mixed it with the red so many times. So now it's starting to stand out. Now I'm going to get some red and just do it all on its own to give it some cool dimension. In between those leaves and just turn my brush on its side and the tip of it and add in red. Nice and simple. That is cool fall paint. Now I'm done with the leaves. Now what I'm going to do is take a little bit of white on the tip of my brush, and I'm going to add some white dots just to bring it all together to make a simple background. I'm going to go in with my white in between. And yeah, I could have done it before I did this, but I want to focus on the tree a little bit. I'm going to dot all where there's blue, wherever you can fit that white in. And you're just using the end of your brush. And that's going to make this really pretty star-like look to it. And you can go to the edges. And it can make it all nice and cohesive. And all I'm doing is dabbing in my white. And dabbing it around my tree. Excuse the. And if you don't want to use the bottom of your brush, you can use a Q-tip. Still same technique. Just dabbing with the tip of it to make a cool starry background. There we go. Add a little bit more in there. And here we are. Done. Might add a little bit more red in there, but I think it's good. I think it is good. Might add a little bit more red. But that was the goal, to make something nice and simple. So if you tuned in and watched while I painted, hopefully you found this extremely simple and easy to paint. Once again, I'll be back live again at another time. I'm gonna go back in with a little bit more red. The tops of my tree. Edges and a little bit of yellow to go with it. Right there. You can even get a little bit of a circular motion on it. But I like the turnout. There is a simple fall tree painting that anyone can do, whether it's adult or a child. Once again, I'm Jessica Bangor of Creative Soul Art. I hope you enjoyed the live. If you are tuning in while I'm live, you will see the red dot. If you are tuning in afterwards and you're coming in and checking out what I did for tonight, definitely put in the comments hashtag replay. Once again, I'm Jessica Bangor of Creative Soul Art. I teach paid parties to groups of 100 virtually right now. Nothing too much in person just because everything going on, but definitely a lot of virtuals. I have a lot scheduled this week, which was why I wanted to make sure I got on today and did a little simple virtual live painting of something that would represent something I would do virtually. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And definitely comments, put messages in the comments so I can interact with you on my page. And definitely have a wonderful Wednesday night and a wonderful rest of the week. Oh my goodness, it's already tomorrow's Thursday. That's what happens when you have a short week. And I hope to see you guys later. Bye.